age-old story. You clean your bike, take it out for a single ride, and you go through one little puddle, and all this just collects up. Look at the state of that. Oh, hello. It's a wonderful thing about the British weather, in some regards anyway, is it's gone from all that to this. And of course when the old sun comes out, that's when people come out. I was having a word with the guy at the little cafe stand over there, and he says people will typically come out an hour or so later during the winter than summer, obviously, because if it was like this during the winter all the time, it's got significantly warmer as well. My hands were cold coming down here, but now, you know, standing out here for about 20 minutes, it's actually warmed up quite nicely. It's amazing what a little bit of cloud can do for you. Alright, we're all packed up here. Fantastic, lovely. Way today. Those two have been on a test ride, and I could tell by the look of it when they pulled off, that bloke likes that bike. It's a lovely feeling when you consider, you know, someone will sit on a motorcycle for the first time and just a big grin on their face. It's a lovely feeling, and you feel it as well when you do the same. You jump on a motorcycle you're not familiar with, you're excited about it, or just plain nervous. But once you get going, that first few hundred meters, oh, it's when you know you love it or hate it. But the thing is, the feeling grows over time as well. So today's actually turned out beautiful, so it's worth keeping an eye on the weather, just in case. Because you might have a lovely day like this just pop up out of nowhere, and then suddenly the road dries up and you can give it a little bit more oomph, which is always nice. Always fine and dandy. I'm staying off the centre line at the moment because that's what's that's the moisture. Easy, Tiger. I assume he's on the Tiger. But yeah, and there was a young lad there eyeing up the Vulcan S. He's really interested in it, so good on him. Hope he's actually booked a test ride for next weekend, bless him. So hope he gets along nice with that. Should do. We got a storm rolling in tomorrow, which won't really affect you guys much, just what I can do on the motorcycle. Today's a Saturday, so the old storm's due to roll in for Sunday, tomorrow, and it'll be hitting us hard this evening. So apparently there's a risk of life in that, which is always fun. So we'll see how that goes. Hello. Another lovely bike. So I should go down this one here. I believe I've been down this one before. Yes, I have. For those who've been on this channel for a while, can't remember how many times I've said that now, I started a video right there. And sometimes it's nice to come back to the same area, revisit old roads you've not been to for a while, or just explore a different angle. And I remember one of the local lads, might have mentioned it back then as well, said there's a lovely route round here, and he said there's a bridge which goes over the rail tracks. Didn't tell me how steep the bridge was though, so here's me just jollying along at like 40-50 miles an hour up this little slope. I think, oh yeah, that's quite nice, little slope. And then suddenly a big drop at the end of it because you're going over a friggin' railway, and then your ass comes off the seat and you go for a mild panic. Always fun. Always fun. Ah, dear. But yeah, I mean, it's been like this over the last few days as well. As the days progress, the clouds have buggered off, it's got warmer, and we've just been blessed with this bloody great big blue sky with barely a cloud in sight. I mean, there's a few little specks here and there, but it's just perfect, isn't it? Lovely up bit of weather, this one. Now, I can't remember how long this village goes on for, but we should be hitting the country roads in a bit. Another big old church. Ah, lovely, innit? Thank you for saying thank you, although you have the right of way. Regardless, good stuff. I might actually reposition this camera at some point, because I think the shadow from this is going to cast on the actual lens, which can affect certain shots. It's not a big thing, it's a minor thing if anything. It's just, as you can imagine, twig in the road, nice. When you've got sun directly behind you, cameras don't really like sun pointed directly in their lenses unless you've got the equipment and the technology in it to cope with that, or you just put it through a ton of editing. Either way, all works out for the best, I suppose, doesn't it? Try and get a blip of speed through there. Sorry. Yeah, what's the feeling like you get from people asking for your advice? Now, you get it from like Facebook groups and such, of like people just asking general advice, like mechanical bits and bobs and such, but what about like personal advice? Like, what's the best bike for me? What's this? What's that? And sometimes the best thing is obviously sitting on a bike compared to riding it is going to be a completely different feel, but it gives you a rough idea of the seating position on the bike, and that's going to shift ever so slightly when you go in and out of corners and accelerating and braking and all that. So all things considered, today's turned out to be rather lovely, so I shall leave it there. Have yourselves a nice weekend and all that, enjoy, and as always, until next time, ta for now.